And these are your 2:30 headlines. The quarter-finals of the Snooker World Championships have begun today at the Crucible, as 2 matches have already finished their opening sessions. 7-time world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan finished his morning session 6-2 up against 28-year-old Belgian Luca Bressel as he looks to book his place in another semi-final. In the other match, Jack Jones is tied 4-4 against Northern Ireland's Mark Allen. Both matches will be concluded this evening. The other 2 quarter-finals are now just getting underway. On the topic of snooper, some of our reporters went out to the Rocket Ronnie's Pool Club in Southampton to find out if the World Championship has had an impact. Here's Ollie Barnard with the story.
Quarter-finals of the Snooker World Championship are currently going on ahead in Sheffield. We went down to our local snooker club, Rocket Ronnie's, to check out what's going on.
I actually come 2 to 3 times a week to play with my husband. Honestly, I'm interested in pool in general. I learned actually American pool first, and so when I moved here I was kind of interested in how English pool is different. And I've actually played snooker and I've learned snooker, and it's quite hard for me because I'm quite short for it, I feel like, and it's very stretchy, but in a way it's a very tactical and chess game for me. So I really quite like it versus certain pool games. It's more about potting balls and just making balls. Actually, I enjoy watching snooker. I also enjoy watching a lot of pool, to be honest. For me, it's learning how they play and just trying it on the table as well.
In a sport which has been heavily dominated by males throughout history, more women are looking to get involved. Amy May is a prime example of that.
It is a male-dominant sport, to be honest, in my opinion. Obviously, I've been here a year now, and I feel like sometimes I'm the only one here, and I'm trying to get games, and I'm the only female. It is quite daunting for a female to walk in all general sports. I feel like they need maybe a pathway or teach females or as a social aspect and kind of make it more inviting.
Chelsea were hit with more bad news today after another turbulent week for the club in what has been an extremely difficult season. Interim manager Frank Lampard broke the news in today's press conference that both Reece James and Mason Mount will be out injured for the rest of the season. The Blues boss also refused to comment on the recent speculation linking former Spurs boss Mauricio Pochettino with the Chelsea hot seat. Tonight's Premier League clash between Leeds United and Leicester City could have a huge say in the race for survival, with only 6 game weeks left in the season. Leicester are coming into the game off the back of a 2-1 comeback victory against Wolves on Saturday, whereas their counterparts come off the back of a 2-1 defeat at Craven Cottage. Both sides sit just above the relegation zone with only 1 point separating the 2 teams. Brighton's Evan Ferguson has agreed a fresh long-term deal at the Amex Stadium to remain with the South Coast side for the immediate future. The 18-year-old Republic of Ireland international has reportedly been on the radar of a host of Premier League clubs, but has opted to remain with the Seagulls. Ferguson has been a regular in Roberto De Zerbi's side, starting 11 games since January despite picking up a recent injury. Mikel Arteta has stressed the importance of beating big teams away from home in today's press conference. Arsenal travel to title rivals Manchester City tomorrow, having drawn their last 3 matches, hitting poor form at the worst possible time. The Gunners still sit top of the Premier League with a 5-point lead, but have played 2 more games than City.
You have to go to Spurs and you have to beat them. You have to go to Chelsea and you have to beat them. You have to go away from them and you have to beat them. And this is what we've been doing. That's why we are here. And now we have to go to City and you have to beat them. You want to be champion, you have to win those matches. It's as simple as that.
Tottenham Hotspur has released a statement saying they'll reimburse all of their fans who travelled to their away fixture at Newcastle on the weekend. Tottenham have conceded 5 goals in the first 20 minutes and went on to lose the match 6-1. In the statement, the playing squad also issued an apology for their performance. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said in today's press conference that his side can't talk about consistency after winning 2 consecutive games. Liverpool have endured a tricky season and sit 7th in the Premier League with 7 games to go. The Reds take on West Ham tomorrow at the London Stadium in a 7:45 kickoff.
We have to still prove ourselves, so that's it. We cannot talk about consistency when you win 2 games, especially when you win the second game like the last one. I liked a lot in the game, but obviously defending their throw-ins was not perfect.
Boulder climbing is one of the fastest growing sports in the UK right now, With 90,000 people picking up the activity in the last year alone, it's a great alternative way to work out. We've got our own climbing centre in Southampton, and Reece Barrett went down to the Boulder Shack to find out more.
When you think about the word workout, you probably think of weightlifting. You wouldn't think of a climbing gym in the middle of Southampton's main industrial estate. But that's exactly what Boulder Shack is. It's a perfect alternative to a traditional gym, where you can get a full body workout without lifting a single dumbbell.
So I'm Sam, I'm a duty manager here. I'm also a coach and a route setter. Obviously it completely depends on your goals, right? So like, if you want to bulk up or whatever, you're probably better off going to a traditional gym. But climbing is a really good all body workout. So like you're going to be using like fingers, your shoulders, your forearms will burn like nothing else. Your core, your legs, pretty much every aspect of your body you'll get a good workout on.
Indoor rock climbing is no easy feat, and it's easy to lose your footing, especially as a beginner. But experienced climber Freddie Hostella assured us that the struggles are worth the physical reward.
So you're dealing with calisthenics when you're climbing, which is basically just body weight strength. So when you're on the wall, you're never lifting anything above your own body weight. Well, typically you aren't. So you're never going to get like huge as you see people do in gyms. But it's a different kind of strength. It's a much more full body strength that you typically need a lot of flexibility for and full range of motion.
And it's not just a climbing workout that Boulder Shack offers. They have physio facilities, a fitness studio for yoga, an in-house cafe, and a bunch of classes for beginners every day. That's why gyms like these have become social havens, not only for newbies, but also for people who know what they're doing, like Freddie.
I've been coming to Boulder Shack for only about a year now. Pretty much fell in love immediately. It's such a lovely community here. It's really, really accepting of just like absolutely everyone. I think the community aspect of climbing is really, really important.
Studies have shown in general that exercise can increase happiness for people of all ages. And in a place as social as this, climbing can be an amazing escape.
It can be a really, really lovely distraction where, you know, you go into a climbing wall, you focus on a problem, and then suddenly it's taken up your entire concentration.
And if watching Freddie scale these walls has left you salivated and wanting more, here's some straight shooting advice for you.
Just go for it. It's really not... I feel like people are quite intimidated by it, but honestly, there's absolutely nothing to be scared of.
Four-time NFL Most Valuable Player Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the New York Jets. The 2011 Super Bowl winner has left the Green Bay Packers after 18 years with the Wisconsin-based side. For non-NFL fans, it has been compared to when Lionel Messi left Barcelona for Paris Saint-Germain. The Key Swimming and Diving Complex is home to the local swimmers. We sent one of our reporters to check in with the club.
The Southampton Swimming Club has just returned from regional championships. Head coach Matt Heathcock shares the success of the team.
So we had our regional championships. The kids swam brilliantly. We had 9 athletes go, so it's just a small team at the moment. 7 of them got personal best times. We had, I believe, 9 finals. And we had 4 medals, so we've started off really well.
Having been a part of the Southampton swimming community for all his life, he is passionate to watch his students flourish.
It's about getting the best out of them. It's about them enjoying it. Sounds a bit cliche, but seeing the swimmers just enjoy, smile on the face after a race, that's what it's about. Obviously, I've been quite lucky and put swimmers on international teams, and of course we're striving to do that all the time.
Masters coach and lead James McTavish also speaks to the competitiveness of the club.
And we've got a squad actually about 35 or 40 at the moment, so on busy nights we can have anything up to 30 in. I'd say about 10 to 20 of those will compete at county level. Some may even do regional, there's even a national competition. Some upper crust ones will do international competitions, so there's an international Masters Games in Japan.
Even though small, the club is dedicated to their success and is hopeful for the upcoming season.
Me, I feel Southampton is a giant that's just about to get woken.
A date has been announced for the highly anticipated rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith. The bout will take place at the Manchester Arena on the 17th of June in a co-main event with Savannah Marshall and Franchin Cruz Durzen. Smith won the first fight via 4th-round stoppage in a fiery affair after both fighters insulted each other's families. Now, we turn our attention to the waters of the Inchin River, where Liam Harden is wading the ins and outs of Solent.
Welcome to Southampton Water Activity Centre. In 2021, 80,000 people went sailing in the UK, and Southampton-born sailist Ian Pearcey was one of them, who won the 2008 sailing gold medal in the Beijing Olympics and in 2000 in Sydney. Now, if you follow me here, you'll see we're outside the glamorous Itchen Bridge, where we've been doing some filming today and photography, speaking to lead instructor Abigail about the ins and the outs of the sport. So just stay tuned.
Flowing underneath the Itchen Bridge, the picturesque river meets thrill and adventure. Set in the heart of the stunning Solent is the Southampton Water Activity Centre, which offers a wide range of water-based activities for all ages and abilities, including sailing. It may not be the most popular of sports, but Abigail, the lead sailing instructor at the centre, gave us a basic rundown of what the sport actually is.
So sailing is getting out on the water on a boat, and the boats are controlled by the wind, so you're using only sails to get moving anywhere.
Sailing has been a staple of the Summer Olympic Games for years and, since debuting in 1896, has featured 32 times. According to Statista, over 80,000 people participated in sailing in England in 2020, a sport which is really easy to get on board of. Abby told us just how simple the process is.
So the best way to start off is to become an assistant instructor. We run a three-day course for that, and that just makes it so they can help launch boats, teach some basic stuff and be out on the water with students. And then going on from that, you want to become a dinghy instructor so you can fully teach the syllabus.
And Hampshire is home to some of the finest sailors this country has to offer. Ailey McIntyre won gold at the most recent games in Tokyo in the women's 470 dinghy event. She grew up on Hayling Island, but even more locally, Ian Pearcey OBE was born in Southampton. He is a double Olympic champion, winning gold in Sydney and Beijing.
The best way is to go onto social media, spread videos, pictures. We give information out on social media, so again, people who don't really know what sailing is can get a bit of an insight.
These two are now teaching the younger generation the way of the water. The club reopened this month as they prepare for another sailing season, with the instructors expecting an influx of young, yearning first-timers.
Typically in the summer we get about 50 to 60 children midweek, and then about 20-ish adults on the weekend.
Finally, Ireland have been bowled all out by Sri Lanka on the second day of the 5-day test match. The underdogs reached 492 runs, with Paul Stirling and Curtis Camper both reaching centuries. The second day has now come to a close as Sri Lanka managed to get 81 runs on the board without loss. Play will resume tomorrow morning. That's all for today. Remember to follow us on all socials at Solent Sports News for more content. Thank you for watching and have a great afternoon.